So I'm talking today with Xuan He, who is going to be performing our final concert of the Winter-Spring concert series here at the Crane on Sunday, March 29th at 3 o'clock. Xuan, thanks so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited about this series and really excited that you get to close us out. You were introduced to us by our friend Ulysses, who runs a school here in Quincy, a music school, and I know you've been teaching there for some time.
Right, for about 2 years.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
That's great. And I know you've been living in the greater area for, well, obviously at least 2 years. How long have you been living in the greater Boston, Quincy area?
Greater Boston, also about 2 years.
About 2 years.
Yep.
All right. Lucky us. Did you come here for school? Or?
No, actually, I went to school elsewhere, and then I decided to move to Boston for the vibrant music scene.
Oh, for library music.
Yeah, for a vibrant music scene.
Vibrant music,
yes.
Okay, I was like, library music.
Library is also library music, right? Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe you came here for school because I know that you do some work. I was looking at your resume, and I know you do some playing over at Berkeley or at the New England Conservatory. You have a lot of different kind of part-time piano playing gigs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about those. Where have you been playing lately?
Sure. So I mostly play at the church, St. Cecilia
Very
Parish.
classic. After you know, once talkies were introduced and they couldn't have piano during the movies, I think church became a very popular place for piano players.
Yeah. So I play also organ there.
And organ too. Yep.
Organ and piano, and I accompany students at Boston Conservatory.
Okay.
And also every week I play at Brigham Women Faulkner Hospital.
In just the lobby, or where do you play in the
I
hospital?
play in the Department of Psychiatry.
In the Department of Psychiatry?
Yes.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
What do you play there?
I typically take requests.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
A lot of
bring
show
my
tunes, I bet. Yeah.
yeah, I love show tunes and sometimes musicals.
Yeah?
Popular songs too. Yeah.
So you have a really wide range that you play. I was listening online, and you had, I think it was all Tchaikovsky that you had.
Yeah, I have some
online.
Tchaikovsky on it. Yeah, that's true.
But you
Yeah.
play show tunes. You do popular music.
I have I saved a lot of sheet music in my computer, so when I go to the hospital, I bring my laptop with me, and then I also just Google sheet music, whatever they request.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I go from there.
And as long as you've got a lead and some chord changes or something, you can play.
Yeah, or better written out. Sheet
You like the
music.
whole thing.
Yeah.
You don't just work off a fake book. And
Yeah,
not so often.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Neat. Where did you study? Have you been playing piano since you were just a wee little one, or?
Yes, I started piano lesson when I was 8.
8. Okay.
And then I went to a conservatory pre-college program for 6 years for middle school and high school back in China.
Wow.
And then I did my undergrad in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Okay.
And then graduate school in Chicago at Northwestern.
Okay.
And then I also spent a year studying early music in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've done a fair amount of traveling on the piano then.
Yep.
How did you get from China? We're in China, first of all.
Central China. Yeah.
Which state?
Sichuan.
Sichuan province?
Sichuan province. Yep.
Okay. A big city, small city?
My hometown is super small, even by Chinese standards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about a couple thousand people.
A couple of thousand people.
Yeah.
So how did you find your way from a town of a couple thousand people to Bowling Green? That was your first, is that where you first came to the States?
Yes.
Yeah?
Bowling
How did you
Green,
discover Bowling Green? I'm fascinated.
Well, I was just applying to a bunch of schools in the U.S.
Oh.
And one of the professors at Bowling Green, I think I heard about him when I was in middle school, or probably high school.
With a connection with the conservatory prep school where you were?
He was visiting the conservatory.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't get to meet him. But I got to know the school.
Okay.
So I did some search and,
And it grew from there.
Yeah.
Was the conservatory in that same community where you lived, or did you leave home to go to the conservatory middle school?
I had to leave home, my hometown.
Yeah? How far away did you travel?
About 2.5, 3 hours by car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would go during the week and then spend weekends at home? Or
No, actually just moved there.
You just moved there?
Yeah.
Away from your family? Or
Away from my family.
Away from, and in middle school?
Middle school.
That is quite a dedication.
Yeah,
Wow.
for music studies.
And I assume most of your family is still back in this small little town?
Yep, they're all there.
Yeah.
Still.
How are they doing? This is a scary time to have, like, I haven't heard, like, the coronavirus hasn't been hitting Sichuan as much as Wuhan and some other parts of China.
Right, especially my parents living in a kind of remote town, so
they must feel
okay.
a little isolated there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still a scary time. I hope that if you know people in any of those affected areas, I reach out to them. That's got to be scary.
Yeah, indeed. I have friends from there, so.
Yeah. Well, didn't mean to take that turn, but kind of hard to ignore when we start thinking about traveling these days.
Right.
So you've been playing a lot here. What kind of music are you going to play in this concert?
So in this concert, I will mostly play music by well-known and beloved composers.
Okay. Not that you have to have decided yet. I'm not trying to press
Right.
you. It's I always appreciate, I know that some musicians know well ahead of time what they're going to play.
Yeah.
Other people are deciding at the last minute, oh, this is really what speaks to me today. So are you working on any pieces right now?
Yes.
Yeah?
So in fact, I'm working on a piece by a composer whom I have been avoiding for quite many years.
Oh yeah? Okay. Tell me more about that.
So the composer is Chopin.
Okay.
And as a pianist,
a well-known composer.
Exactly.
Which piece are you working on?
It's called Polonaise Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why have you been avoiding him? Have you been avoiding Chopin in general, or just the Polonaise Fantasy?
No, in general.
In general?
Yeah, because
I'm fascinated. So you didn't play any?
Yeah, I found his music very challenging to play. Not only technically, but also just musically.
Yeah.
I find it very challenging.
Just to get the right emotion out of it, so it's not just stayed. He's very mathematical. When I think of Chopin, I think of somebody who had incredible precision with his harmonies, with his rhythms. It's so constructed and so finely constructed that it can be almost stripped of emotion if you just play to what's on the page. Is that part of why you avoided it, or?
It has something to do with emotion, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find his music also very emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, for me, it was very difficult to interpret his music.
Okay.
Back in school, so I was just kind of avoiding his music for juries, for compositions, or for performances. But now I think,
and I'm sure you're surrounded by it because everybody's playing.
Exactly.
Chopin.
Yeah. But now I think it's time for me to tackle this challenge and see what has changed.
Well, I can't wait to hear how you interpret and where you go with that. That's really fun. Do you think it'll be ready for the concert, or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right.
I've been working on that.
We won't hold you to it, but that would be really exciting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Are there any other pieces that you're excited about recently?
Recently, for this concert or just in general?
Oh, yeah, in general. But yeah, of course, we're interested in what we might hear, but I'm just interested in talking to you and what you've been interested in, too.
Yeah, so I'll just talk a little bit about both.
Yeah.
For the concert, I'm considering playing all fantasies by different composers.
That's a fun theme, yeah.
Composers, they have written so many pieces titled fantasies.
Is there a definition for fantasy? Does that mean something in the musical canon? I've played some Chopin. I play a little piano, and I've played some Chopin, but I'm sure not nearly at the level or the complexity that you're playing. But I don't know what fantasy means.
Generally speaking, fantasies are just less structured than, for example, sonata.
Okay.
Right.
So the form can be much more open.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's for a concert. And
who other besides Chopin? Which other fantasies are you playing with?
I'm considering playing fantasies by Mozart, Schubert, probably. There are many other composers. I'm still exploring the repertoire.
Great.
Yeah.
And then you said there's some other things that have been picking your fancy lately.
Right. So on an organ actually. I'm working on this Prelude Fugue.
Okay.
Based on the name of this very young French organist and composer who died in World War. And then the composer Maurice Duruflé composed this wonderful Prelude Fugue on his name. Yes, and it's just very powerful, emotional, and I just can't stop practicing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the fugues can really get in your brain. They're just those little earworms that you keep hearing the melody, keep repeating, and with a good melody, it can be really intoxicating.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's really fun. Of course, we don't have an organ yet here, and I don't know if we will ever have an organ. So we will have to enjoy everything that you're bringing on piano.
Yep.
Do you split your time practicing pretty equally between organ and piano?
It depends on my performance and church music schedule.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
churches, you're playing on organ more?
On organ more, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just I think I try to split time equally between two instruments.
It depends on what you have coming.
Right.
And there's a lot of crossover, of course.
Right.
Do you spend, I wonder, as we wrap up and then just encourage everybody to come to this concert, if you have any words for aspiring musicians, people who are, especially as a solo piano player, you often do accompany people, but you obviously play a lot all by yourself. when you were 8 years old and thinking, did you just play because you had to, because there was somebody looking over your shoulder? I assume you didn't move away from home and keep at it because somebody made you. This has to be something that's deep inside. What do you say to somebody else who thinks that they might have that inside?
Well, I think just I have quite a lot of things to say, but as a solo pianist, I think I encourage pianists to collaborate more with other musicians, and also explore other performance venues outside conventional venues such as classical music, concert hall, and also explore less known composers.
Okay. How do you discover new composers? How would you encourage people to do that?
Internet.
The internet.
Yes.
And just go to YouTube and where on the internet? Where's the first place if you're looking for a new idea? Bandcamp, no.
For example, I just recently just go on Google and then type a few keywords. For example, if I want to do some research on, let's say, 18th century woman composer, I just search that and
that makes sense. Yeah.
See what comes up. Yeah.
Okay. There is certainly a large world of music out there to explore.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited that you'll come and introduce us to some more fantasies. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited to bring music to the library.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I look forward to the concert.
Thank you.
Please come out and join us for the entire music concert series, and especially to hear Xuan He on March 29th at 3 o'clock here in the library. Can't wait to see you there.